What's up, YouTube Nation? What's up, everybody? I'm back once again to give my little, my little 2 cents, my little nuggets, my little thoughts about the game that were today. And boy, oh boy, did not only the weekend combined, but today prove and give us everything that we want in a whole NBA day. There was no bad game. Every game was pretty much at the top of what you wanted. I was like, I don't know who you may have wanted to win, but for me, I got all the games being nearly all the way toward the very end, and that's what is really great for me in all of this transaction. So let's go ahead and kick right into it. Um, I thought that the Hawks might have been able to pull this out. Um, I was like, it was a lot closer. I was like, it takes a minute for Traeyoung to get going, but the thing is that he is a dude that's going to get points. So at some point, it don't matter. He's going to build them. He's going to get them. Murray's always been pretty much of his consistent of around like 20 or so and more. But Young, like I said, it took him a minute, but he was able to get going and he got his shots up. The real big was Hunter. Hunter came up big and filled in all the points. And the downside of that is that nobody else came with them. Like last game where you had Bay and you had Bogdanovich and able to pull in. You wasn't like while you got that big game from Hunter, you didn't get really anything from them. And in order for the Hawks to really sort of beat the Celtics, you need the others, to come out and all play on a lot high level, especially because last game you didn't get a good Jaylen Brown game. Jaylen Brown's not going to give you another bad game, and guess what? He didn't. And if he's going to play like that, along with Tatum, who has been pretty much dominant this series, and then you also are going to get pretty good games from Smart and Brogdon, and Williams is playing good time minutes, who's matching basically Capella and whatnot. So it's like when you're that team and you're on the lower end of things, you sort of you can't really you didn't have to have your stars go above and beyond their stars, or you need them to all sort of have a wash, and then your top role players beat their role players. And the Celtics just got way more consistent firepower at this point to the Hawks. And at this rate, I was like, I guess you just don't know that they could get one more, but I feel like now, basically at this point, the Celtics are going to. You would hope that they would just settle it right now and just be ready to go straight into championship mode, and especially since the Sixers are done with theirs, and just hurry up and get straight to that series. As much as I would love more basketball, this isn't necessarily one that all like it hadn't really been fun as compared to the other games. I want to talk about later that I feel like it's fun, even though it's in the same type of mode. Um. Anyway, so bypassing all that one, the next one I'm gonna talk about is this Warriors and these Kings. And I was like I was like I'm trying to see who is. I was like, I don't know this one or the next one that I'll talk about is like my favorite. I think this one is my favorite because the teams are so much evenly matched, more so than maybe the environment or or stories. Like Clippers and Suns sort of got it's a good game, but they sort of had stories in it before before the injuries, and so and the Lakers and Memphis, that's a really good series as well too. But Kings and Golden State, and well, the Kings had ample of opportunities to win this game. Um, First of all, deaaronfox is that dude. If you picked out any better time to basically tell everybody who you are as a player, Fox has been doing nothing but that because even like you could look at stats and but when you see that it's like, oh, okay, you can see like, oh, he had like maybe 23 or he had 25, he had 29, or just throwing out numbers. But when you see in the game when it's like, oh, they need a bucket, boom, Fox is hit a three, boom, Fox wins the basket, boom, Fox is over here for the floater. Like, and I'm not just saying that. I was like, but that's his game as well too. That that he keeps them either going or he keeps them in the game, in the game. Um, which I mean, but I'm saying as a top player, that's what you sort of do. Where it's like, oh snap, they need a bucket. I'm gonna come up. Boom, I got you. Oh, I was like, need to slow down. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get y'all. I was like, hold on, let me go to the basket, get a couple. I was like, get inside a bit, that open y'all up. Being the point guard and all that other stuff. Sabonis, I feel like they're doing a really good job of slowing Sabonis down. He's still gonna get his rebounds. He's still gonna get his numbers, but it's seeming like they're pushing him, between Green and Looney, that they're pushing him around a lot and being a lot more physical with him. I was like, I don't know, because I was like, he'll get the ball, and he's sort of doing. He got like the Jokic impersonation game going on, except for it's not to me. It doesn't feel like there's really the same threat. Like he'll bring the ball up, and I'm not scared. I'm like, oh, is he going to take it to the hoop? Is he going to be able to get off this path? I don't really feel that in the same way that with Jokic, which of course is why Jokic is him versus him, but it just doesn't seem like it flows that well. Maybe it's also just a matchup with Golden State with so many perimeter people, just like kind of like the Kings, that they can match them on the run. Um, you got I was like the rookie Murray. Like he showed out in this game. He was hitting a whole bunch of buckets for him and threes, and you got a really good game out of him. And I really feel and I was like, Golden State, once again, like I said, it's real. This is really a get on my back, I'm Curry type of series, because that's how they're all playing. And it's not saying that other people aren't playing. Looney ain't over here giving them offense and offensive rebounds and second attempts, and he gave him a couple baskets today. Green was able to move the ball. Of course, that's what he's able to do. And Clay with three. You got a really good pool game. So shout out to people that love pool. He finally decided, like, all his erraticness actually worked here, and it wasn't just for show or to try to go off or nothing like that. It was actually like, oh, he's actually creating buckets. It was some control to him being. I get there was some control to him and his poolness. Yeah, making a worse day. Um, so you got a pretty decent game out of him, which I feel like you need him because he's the only one that can really create his own shot versus everybody else. I mean, well, Wiggins can too, but Wiggins is doing so much also on defense, and that I feel like Poole, who isn't really getting nothing on defense, your whole thing is to score and to give Curry some type of break, and thank God that Curry is in, like, good shape, cause and he almost look like it's really cool to see him like in a mix of like his older self with like playing within the game, but then you can see some of the like how he used where he used to play, where he's just like, nah, I'm flicking this shot up, No, I'm flicking this shot up. And more vintage Curry than like it's not setting the three, but the actual like just roaming around three. Nah, throw that one in. But you understand what I'm saying? I was like, got the image in my head, it's not coming out right. But uh, towards the end of the game, I felt like going towards the end of the game, but especially during the last like 5 some minutes, you really felt that it was we're a champion team versus this is our first time playing here. Cause I think it was like three back to backs that the Kings just took dumb shots, fast shots when they didn't have no reason to. And then they got bailed out because deaaronfox, that dude, making a three. But like Monk had like two back to back that was like, why? What was the purpose of that? You still got so much more time on the clock. Y'all could grind this out. I was like, if you make a good basket, you get back on D instead of just letting Golden. Like once you come, if you fail in that situation, Golden State is going to be able to go on the other end. Um, Even though it was close and they did have a chance, which says more, says a lot more. You Monk Monk played okay. He played fine, but he didn't play as great as he did like in the game one. And Herter has been having a really hard time since around that time getting his pacing and the way he plays. And I feel like if those two dudes are on with everybody else, this wouldn't be as close of a game. But I was like, give Golden State credit. They're playing defense. They're getting a lot of them out of their character to where it really is deaaronfox, and then you just hope, and then it's like who else is going to show up to play at those times. But no, but I was like, this still seems like one of those that will go to the game seven, and you just don't know how this goes with the inexperience versus the experience, and but also the difference of talent in this game as well too. It's sort of a good barometer of a lot of different things going on with this series. New, old, all that stuff. Another series that is very exciting has been Cleveland and the Knicks, and I'm trying kind of like it was a really good game. It was a really close game. Uh, you didn't get a crazy amount of Randall, but that was cool because you didn't get a lot of Mitchell. That was sort of like the Mitchell slump game or whatever how you want to call it. But I think sometimes I was like, but like I sort of said in other videos that I feel like Brunson also sort of took like he was really good in threes today. Um, but I was like, sometimes Brunson takes a minute to get going, but his game allows him to get going a lot more, uh, a lot faster or better than I think Mitchell, because a lot of Brunson stuff is a mix of to the basket, mid range, floater, like getting like shot like pump fakes up, free throw line. He got so many things in his game that he gets a rhythm than Mitchell can, who Mitchell does a lot more outside perimeter game than going to the basket a lot of times. And because I think Brunson is dishing the ball a lot more to people in a different way than Mitchell is, because you got Garland mainly doing that. Garland had a really good game himself. He was really keeping the team more so in it. Levert had a good game as well too. Uh, I was like, you gave him some. He had some decent amount of buckets. I guess the problem is that you get a Levert game, you get some point from Okoro, and then I was like, Garland has his thing, but then on the other side, the Knicks, who are always gonna have Brunson, you got another good RJ Barrett game, and if you're gonna have a really good RJ Barrett along with a Brunson, and then Julius Randle, who didn't have a a Julius Randle game. Still gave you some. He still is a threat out there, and everybody else coming up and playing as far as Mitchell being ready for the lobs and always being a threat around the rim. Hartenstein, and they were just really just great. Like Toppin came in and gave them really good minutes, and they're it's like their bigs, but not even just their bigs. I'm like like Brunson had about 6 rebounds. I was like I think like Hart had like about 5 or 7. Nearly everybody that sort of played on like the Knicks all had about 4 or more rebounds to just only like Mobley having like double digits, and and they only got out, but there's nobody else to get boards really for their team, so that just means that is less possessions for them and more possessions for the Knicks. I was like, whether that's offensive or I was like, how you seen like like a couple of shots that Josh Hart was making was off of offensive rebound. I was like, I was like a lot of them second chance point, or how they really was killing them. A lot of it was in a lot more transition, because as soon as they get the ball off of defense, they're gone. They're going to the races. Either with Brunson or Hart or I was like Toppin's already always a threat. So. And this one looks like I still think Cleveland gets one more. Kind of like the next one in Cleveland. So I think they'll pull that one out. But they're going back, if they go back to New York. Nah, I think that's a wrap. I can't see this one going 7. I think this will at least go 6. It's like it's been a lot of fun, even though the series isn't going to match up in wins as that. But it's been a lot of fun seeing this one go by. And as I was like, I like Brunson. Did not know Brunson would be this dude, but I like Brunson. I was like, the Hart transaction is a real glue type of like maneuver, where he almost makes me think a little bit like Iguodala. How Iguodala could give you about 10 to 15 points, about like 5 or so rebounds and assists, and is able to play defense and switchable and all these other things. Another ball handler, and it sort of really helped unlock the team. That way, you take some of the responsibility off Barrett, and he could just be a scorer. I was like Randall Walker; he could be a point forward. He could just be a scorer. Yeah, but they're just getting dominated on the board so much that and because Mobley and Allen they're not scorers, whereas Randall can score the ball, so he can get them in matchups and take them away. And Brunson, Hart, and Barrett sort of can do the same thing with Mitchell and Garland, to where it's like, all right, cool, you can score this many, but you got to guard me, and I can score this many. So we're just going to see who eventually just runs out. But the Knicks' depth also taking over, which I feel like it's really the theme of the playoffs, at least the series early on this far. Is basically teams. It's like who your stars are, and stars with depth. This seems like that's been pretty much the case, because while it's like some cases depth wins, but then the stars win, and the ones that got both are pretty much the ones coming out, like Celtics and the Knicks so far. I was like, but then there's a couple, Lakers and like Memphis is a weird combination of depth but stars. But yeah, so that's a good series. And for the last one, Minnesota, and the Denver Nuggets. I feel like it shouldn't be. This is about right of how I feel like, where I'm like Denver is the better team overall, but there's nothing. I feel like it's weird. It's like the Nuggets kill you softly, because you're not really fearful. Like, you're not fearful of Jokic, but Jokic can kill you. You're scared of. I was like Murray. He is that assassin, and that dude's always around getting buckets, and I swear it seemed like he doesn't miss. It seemed like he doesn't miss at the rate that he just takes shots. It seemed like he doesn't miss, and Gordon being like a fourth dude that can get you, he can get you buckets, but then he's also playing defense. We know with KCP and Bruce Brown also playing defense, and Bruce Brown gave him a couple buckets and a nice wave of energy and defense. Um, I was like, Jokic had a really good game. I was not a really good game. He had an awesome game because I was thinking of his other game. I was like, oh, they've been pretty good, and I was like, no, today he had a big game, and which they needed because on the other side is that dude. He is a beast, and I think at this point if that ain't your franchise dude, no, and I mean he's the franchise dude. I ain't saying he's part of a franchise. No, 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 no. He's the franchise dude. He's the franchise. Anthony Edwards is that dude. Ant-Man. I was like, yo, he's so good that I'm sort of mad that he is Ant-Man compared to the Ant-Man movies, which I like, but he's a way bigger deal than that. And I think not only did he solidify himself as being like a superstar, but also showing that how I feel if you're a superstar, I feel like you can get one game in a series. You ain't gonna be able to win against a I mean against a top notch team, but you could get one game, and you kept feeling it in all the games that they're just that close, mainly because of that dude, mainly because of him. And tonight they were actually able to pull it off. Karlanthonytowns gave them the decent points, not for what you would think he should be giving you, but decent points. Fouled out again because he always is fouling in every situation. And I feel like and his is different than Gobert. Gobert is like the only dude that really can like defend at the in the post, and he's like slow footed. He get caught up in matchups. So I was like his actual stuff where it's like nah, he just it sucks, but he foul. Carl was like, dude, what you doing? What you doing? Why are you doing that again? Have you not noticed that you shouldn't get fouled? Like that's his foul, and a lot of his stuff is annoying. And I did feel like for a while they played him at the five and for a minute, and I thought that worked more so. But I was like they gotta play him and Gobert. I think the coach for the Wolves, Finch, did pretty good of rotating guards around, and where like I think it was like Malofin, of course Nikhil Alexander Walker, who in overtime his initial was nah, cause he wasn't trying to have them go out today. And I wish I was like Ant said in the post game interview. I wish he should shoot more, cause I feel like cool. I was like you're not gonna fully stop Murray, but you're gonna try to slow him down. But you need to score and make Murray also guard you at the same time. And I'm like, you have the ability to score. You're a scorer. You should do that on the other end to also make them come and guard you, especially if Ant's going to take all the heat. And Karl-Anthony Towns is still a threat. Gobert gave you what he sort of does. He's always locked into that. It is playoffs. He's been pretty good, so I'll say 15 to 20 range, more so. So he's always locked in there. He's always good for lobs. He played a lot better on defense of being actually tall around people in the post than just being around or whatever, having his hands constantly up. And I'm just like, dude, make them make the shot over you. Like I get Jokic, he got a whole array of moves. The rest of them dudes don't. So make them be taller. So make them shoot over you. But even then, they still. And I was like, Minnesota, probably they had the momentum to where it's like it's like they should win pretty good, and it's just like the Nuggets just kept coming. They was just scoring. Jokic Murray, rebound here, rebound there, bounce back out. Taking them to the cup. It was a whole array of stuff, and then I was like, then a couple of like fouls in there too. That I was like, that's really ticky tack, but they was giving them to him. I was hoping Edward get that last second shot off, but it's still good that he did it in overtime where he was able to snatch up Gordon and get that three. So this game, I think they might be able to get one more. I do, just because I don't feel like the Nuggets have the same type of like, let's kill them while they down, let's take them out mentality that these other teams to have. So I think Minnesota might get one more. But I was like this. I just want more basketball, so I'm totally cool with these series being elongated. But I feel like that even if they get one more, we know they're not gonna fully come back. If they do, that's a different story. Um, but until then, we're gonna see. I think they should play Austin Rivers a lot more. Just because he's I'm not gonna say he's like crazy. He's like crazy good on offense or on defense, but but he makes me sort of think of Beverly, that veteran dude that you sort of need on the court and on the sort of like slow him down. I was like, he can make buckets unlike Beverly, but he also plays defense in a similar way to Beverly, where he gets underneath you, he's on you, and all this other stuff. He was on the Nuggets not too long ago as well too. But I think they should play him a little bit more, at least a little bit of run, mix it up with him and Conley and Anderson, because just give them different looks, different people to break up the ball, different pace. But anyway, that's it of what I'll have to say and what I'm thinking here. If you like this, I appreciate it. Thanks. If not, hey, maybe next time. But until we meet again, I was like, hope it's all going good for you. Anyway, I'm out. Peace.